What's up, everybody? So this video is going to be about a particular rapper by the name of Waka Flocka. And right away, I'm going to let you know I'm not going to be bashing him or anything like that. This is someone who is an entertainer. He makes music. And this is someone who a couple months ago, or maybe, I don't know, however so long he was or claimed to be vegan, but just recently he decided that he's going to kind of, in his words, stop using the word vegan, right? And just consider himself as a conscious eater. He mentioned in an interview that he felt that there was just too much criticism around what he eats, and that, he felt like, giving up honey was something that he felt was a bit too extreme. And what it really boils down to me at the end of the day is that he couldn't take the pressure, right? And that's understandable. Actually, I don't hold anything against him. I look at him as an entertainer. I'm not really big on his music anyway, and so this didn't really take away anything for me, as far as how I view him. And I just want to kind of bring it up, the fact that a lot of people tend to look at entertainers that as, sort of like idols. And, when they do things where they decide that they're going to go vegan, it does impact the community. Now, I'm not going to be naive, and I hope you are not as well. I mean, you have to understand that, and even I'm guilty of this, I celebrate when entertainers, athletes, or celebrities, or people in the public eye who come out and willingly say that they're vegan, because I understand that they have influence. They have power that me, I don't have, or someone else doesn't have. Because if Kylie Jenner came out today and decided that she's 100% vegan, she's for the animals and everything, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, she will lose some supporters. She will have some backlash, yes. But she will also probably convert, a large amount of people. Her fan base are impressionable teens, and she says that and forget it. It's gonna be a big thing. And a lot of times when I see certain celebrities, say that they're vegan, and I look at it on social media, I always scroll through the comments. And you're always going to see some people that are negative about it. And then you're also going to see some people that's like, yes, I've been vegan for the last 2 weeks, or I'm going to try it. So I understand that these celebrities, these people in the public eye, have influence. So it is somewhat disappointing when they do come out, willingly say that they're vegan, and then turn around and not. However, I do understand the pressures, and I understand that everybody's not built for that pressure, okay? And so you got to think about a couple things. What if this person, he's married? I never heard his wife say that she was vegan, so I don't know what was going on in their home. They have kids, not necessarily together. I don't know if it's, when his child or her child, but there's kids somewhere involved. I don't know if they're vegan or not, right? So this is somebody who's on the road a lot. This is somebody who's, you're on stage, you're really, really active, doing interviews, etc. His lifestyle is very, very fast paced. He might be in situations where he doesn't have vegan food readily available to him. And the same thing around his team of people. They may not be vegan, and it's hard to, in a social environment, to be able to be vegan. So I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. But I understand that I cannot compare myself, right, and what I would do to somebody in that situation unless I'm in that situation, right? So I can't, I just can't get it. I can't get into that. But I wanted to go over something with you guys, right? And I wanted to talk about veganism. I wanted to talk about the word vegan, okay, and where it originated from. There's somebody by the name of Donald Watson, who passed away at age 95, who he coined the word veganism. And here's the thing about it. This was somebody who, when you read about him, he was viewed as being weak and sensitive, right? Which tells me that he was probably someone who was compassionate. because he grew up around a farm, and when he realized and saw the treatment of animals and how they were being slaughtered and how they would scream and cry, and that shocked him. And that made him decide that, you know what, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. So for 18 years, okay, this person did not eat meat, yet he still ate dairy and eggs. And so I want you to think about this. That means that vegetarianism, right? Vegetarians were around long before vegans were, okay? Like that was a thing. And so once he started to understand or got knowledge of how milk and dairy was produced, he was totally against that as well. And so at that point, right, and mind you, just 18 years later, at that point, he decided that, you know what, I need to find a name for this particular diet because that just wasn't a thing back then. And so they took the first couple of letters from vegetarian and the beginning of vegetarian and the end, and VEGAN, you got vegan. And so when you think about it, right, the word vegan came from someone who was impacted by the animals. So it wasn't a diet in the beginning. However, right, as we go along, he got a lot of pushback, because what happens is that most people, when they're so disconnected from the treatment of animals, they go directly to the health aspect. And so they started to attack him and his beliefs in regards to his living, you know, how his lifestyle is going to be. And he wanted to prove them wrong. And so the vegan society that he created, right, originally consisted of 25 people, right? So think about it today. Today, you know, it's reported, right, and I'm sure these numbers are growing, but they say that 0.5% of the population are vegans. And they actually combine vegetarian and vegans. And when you really break it down, the number of vegans is somewhere around 1 million people, where vegetarians is somewhere around 6 or 7 million people. So that goes to show you that it's a long way to go before you think that you're the majority, because you're not, right? We're not. And so going back to Donald Watson, and so what happened is that he wanted to prove people wrong in the sense of, I'm going to outlive you. I'm going to live this lifestyle, and I'm not going to take any medicine, because he didn't trust the doctors and the fact that he had knowledge that they would test a lot of their medicines on certain animals. So it originated from the treatment of animals, right? So now let's fast forward, okay? So now you have the word vegan, and then you have the word veganism. Now, once you add the ism to the end of vegan, right? Now that becomes a philosophy. That is an action now, okay? A practice of some particular art, all right, if you look it up. And so when you have veganism, it's somebody who is proactively advocating for vegans, which is not the least amount of harm, and also it has to do with the animals, all right? Now, when you look up the word vegan, it has two connotations. You can be vegan and just follow the diet, and you can still be classified as vegan or follow the philosophy. So what do I mean? I mean that there is currently, right, as far as dictionary is concerned, or you can be vegan and really truly not believe in the philosophy when it comes to animals. You can just simply be doing it for health purposes. That is still vegan. Now, I know today we like to try to say, hey, just say that you're plant-based, right? But in reality, they're vegan. If you are omitting animal products and dairy products from your diet, you're vegan. And so veganism, right? You get this negative connotation that it's a cult-like following. A lot of people intimidated by it. Have people who feel like they're scared to even say that they're vegan, and they don't want to. They kind of want to just be vegan in silence. If Donald Watson was someone who just said, I'm going to eat this way, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to say a word to anybody, I'm going to keep it within my family, for myself, we wouldn't be vegan today. We wouldn't hear about it, or it would take longer. Maybe somebody else will have to come along and do it. But I'm not saying be vegan in silence. I'm saying understand that your actions and your behavior is going to talk a lot louder than any sign, okay, can do. Like just who you are. And you can convert a lot of those around you by being an example, by being someone that people look up to, not just because you're vegan, but because you're a good person, because you represent other core values that they can relate to. That's the part that I think a lot of us are missing, is that we just kind of use the title of I'm vegan. And so here's the reasons why: because of the animals, the environment, my health, and you should too, or else you don't care about anything. That's not the way. Here's the thing. I believe that there needs to be people that are passionate about veganism, and that there are more than one ways to help convert or educate other people on veganism and what it stands for. And so you can have some people that are going to be, kind of in your face about it, and try to show you what's really going on with the animals. Some people will change because of what's going on with the animals. Some people will change because of what it has to do health-wise, right? Either way, something had to happen. There had to be some sort of a shock or some sort of a light bulb that went on that caused that person to want to be vegan. Now, I believe that the reason why it went from 25 people to over 1 million people, right, and growing, is because people wanted to feel a part of something. And that's the part that I really want to get to a lot of people that are vegan, is that this is a lifestyle that you want people to be a part of. Because people naturally, when you think about it, they're going against their own beliefs. They're going against their families, their close friends, right? And basically whatever they've been taught, everything around them is telling them this is the way to eat, this is how you do it. And yet you have 1 or 2 people that's telling you, hey, that's really not the ideal way, and that you want to consider this. That's a lot for someone to take. And you want it to be a choice. But you know what happens eventually? Eventually, when they're no longer around you and they get around the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is looking at them and saying, hey man, hey, why don't you just eat this steak or eat this burger, or this is really good, or making fun of them, they're going to most likely succumb to the pressure, right? It's just, that's why you need it to be their choice. That's why it has to be something that's meaningful for them, okay? And not just meaningful for you. Donald Watson was not born vegan, okay? He had to make a choice. And I had to make a choice. I wasn't born vegan, right? And nobody forced me. And so the thing is that you want to be an example. And what Donald Watson said was that I'm going to be the example. I'm going to show you, right? Because you can talk, but I'm going to show you that what the benefits of this lifestyle is. And I think that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on elevating and moving that forward, showing the lifestyle, showing that, hey, you can thrive eating this way, right? And here's the thing that we have to understand, is that just because you're vegan doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person. You see, they made sure, when you look up about Donald Watson, they first made sure to identify him as being weak and sensitive. I'm not going to focus on the weak part, but I'm pretty sure the sensitive part was the fact that he was compassionate, that he cared about something that other people didn't care about. And so that made me believe that was him before he turned to the diet. So I ask a lot of people, who were you before you decided to be vegan? Before I decided to be vegan, I was someone who liked to help people. I was someone who liked being around people. I cared for others. Like, being vegan only enhanced what was already there. If you're an asshole, You being a vegan means you're going to be a vegan asshole. If you're somebody who likes to look down on others, or you feel like you're self-entitled or self-absorbed or whatever, you being vegan means you're going to be a self-absorbed vegan. And so when we hear that you're making veganism look bad, I can separate the two. If somebody is just a bad person, don't hide behind veganism. Don't hide behind you being vegan. Like that's not who you are. Who you are, like there's a Japanese reference. They say everyone has 3 faces. It's the face you show the world, the face you show your family, and the face nobody sees, which is truly who you are. Who you are to the core of you doesn't really change. Who you are to the core of you. You can evolve, you can, learn new things, but who you are to the core, if you're compassionate, if you're caring, that is who you were before you were vegan. Something that being vegan brought that out of you. And so not everybody being vegan will bring the best out of them in terms of them as a person. And so we have to accept that. And so that's where the judgmental part comes, right? Like everyone says, a lot of people say that you don't want to judge. And I'm totally against, because we all judge. When you go for an interview, you're being judged for a job. You're dating people to see who you want to marry, who you want to be in a relationship with. You're judging, and they're judging you to see if you're the right person for them, right? Judging is just our way of finding out, is this what we want to do? Is this who we want to be around? I mean, that's an innate thing, right? How you carry yourself, how you treat others, and if you want to credit that to being vegan, all the better. But who you are is who you are. And you can gain more respect from others by giving respect. And by giving respect and them respecting you, they can now be open to what you are saying to them. And if you are a good enough example, they are willing to step outside their comfort zone and consider some of the beliefs that you have. Okay? So I've helped a lot of friends consider veganism, and they go slowly, and some of them became vegan. I've had people go back from being vegan. They're still my friends. I still got love for them. Whatever it is, guys, you got to understand, it's not just about being vegan. It's about who you are. Be a better person, treat people well. They will be more receptive as a result. Try to educate who you can educate, but understand that you can make a difference just by doing what you're doing. Okay? But also be fair and understand that everybody doesn't get to the same place the same way. There's different roads to get to the same place. Not every person can deal with the social pressure. Not every person can deal with the pressure from their family. Some people in industries that they're around a lot of meat and a lot of things that are conflicting with their vegan beliefs. They're probably not ready to quit that job. It's just everybody has some sort of conflict. Everybody's not the same. It's not as easy for everyone. Not everybody could just go vegan overnight. Donald Watson, he didn't go vegan overnight. And again, this is somebody who originated this entire society. He started the vegan society. And so we have to understand that there could be other factors involved. Not everybody's an activist, right? Some people could just be afraid to do public speaking. They could be afraid to be, in large, environments, where there's a lot of people around them. Some people just, have phobias of different things. We just need to understand that we got to just make sure that the one thing that we can control is ourselves. Okay? You can't control what anybody else does. Control yourself. Be that example. And others will recognize that. And you can do so much for the community, just like this man did. So much. And it just started with him. You have that power. You can do so much from where you are, and it can impact others. You never know who you will influence. You never know who's watching. And that is the best thing that you can do. Okay? So that's my perspective on the entire situation. I had to learn from example around, kind of forcing things down people. I'm all for the animals. And another thing is that we have to understand that there are ethical vegans and not everybody's ethical. If you're ethical, great. You're doing what you can, okay? And honestly, that is the best thing that you can do, okay? So peace and love, guys. I will catch you on the next video. I'm out.